Charles Swindoll says, an inner restlessness grows within us when we refuse to get alone and examine our own hearts, including our motives. Unless we discipline ourselves to pull back, to get alone for the hard work of self-examination in times of solitude, serenity will remain only a distant dream. I like that. The notion that we can live a vibrant, healthy, spiritual life, emotional well-being, without a sense of deeper meaning and purpose that is connected to God is an illusion. And it is the illusion most of us have bought into sometime, somewhere. Until we break that illusion, until we can come to that place where we recognize our deep need for God, we're going to continue to chase artificial mechanisms and opportunities, trying to fill inside of us what only He can fill. 2 Timothy 1:7 says, "For God did not give us a spirit of timidity or fear, but a spirit of power, of love, and of self-discipline." Swindoll said it well, unless we discipline ourselves. This whole pursuit of increased God awareness and apprehension of a deepening connection to Him is only doable as we discipline ourselves. It's not done well when we are erratic in our pursuit of God. But when we are disciplined to daily seek Him, we find Him. Some days much more potently than another, but we find Him, and He meets us and draws us to a place where we can surrender. So as you learn to discipline yourself for those daily times, set a clock, an alarm clock maybe for 20 minutes or 15 or 30, whatever you want to do, and try to kind of sequester yourself away where you can just allow whatever thoughts are there to rise to the surface. You'll find all kinds of things bubbling up. You'll find the expectations of others that kind of annoy you. Identify them and surrender them. Release them to Jesus. You'll find anxiety over a to-do list. You'll find intrusive thoughts coming up and distracting you. Recognize the distraction and let it go. Come back, center yourself, and listen. Jesus took this time to get away from distractions because He needed it. And so if Jesus needed that, how much more don't you and I need that time in solitude? We need to remember that solitude is not about isolation or loneliness, but separation from the things which clutter our minds and distract us from being alone with God to hear and make our connection with Him as strong as it can be for that day. So I encourage you, take a little bit of time, meditate on the Matthew 1:35 passage that in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, went off to a solitary place to pray. Why? Because He knew He needed it. Lord Jesus, we need it. You needed it. We need it. Lord, if I want to be like You, I've got to know what You are like. And so I ask that You help me to willingly, joyfully lean in to the model that You have set, the example that You have set for me. And thank You for those times when I can be still and know that You are God, to surrender afresh to Your control and relinquish mine. I love You, Lord. Thank You for the persons that are watching. Draw them into this moment. Give them a hunger for more moments between just You and them, to be still and know that You are God. I'll see you tomorrow.